How you guys doing tonight? Just give it about another minute. Let's get some guys on here. Never phased. I lost my fucking family house because of you. You must be a fucking idiot. You lost your family house because of me, my man. I don't know. It's like something like 37-7. Thoughts on Bears, Lions under Thanksgiving. Yeah, we're going to be doing some football tonight. I'm just reading some of these. That's how we're going to start tonight. Dumbest thing anyone has ever said. Never phased. That a boy, get him. Good to see you. Good to see you too, guys. All right, guys, we got just about enough guys to get started here. First, we'll start off with, like I said, I like to start with recapping what we did last night. And if Never Phased lost his money in his family's house on the Miami-Detroit over, that was my bad. That was just that was terrible. Pistons just was Brick City, 41% they shot. Just wrong. I was just wrong on that game. Just nothing to talk about. The Laker game, we went over. We went under 214.5, 214.5. Had the winner there. We had the Lakers plus 5.5 early. I don't hedge on the numbers that I took. I took 5.5. I lost that game. I gave it out plus 5.5 in the morning. Hopefully, some guys got that line when it went higher. AD did wind up playing. Could have took the W in that game. Had a couple of 3-pointers at the end, but we lost that game. But came back in a big way. And I told you guys pretty much everybody got a free one with Portland. You knew that was. I told you if Joker was out, Portland would look to put it on him, and they beat him by 19. That game never really close. 119-100. But a split for me is a losing day. It's not a good day. We want to fill the pockets up, and that just doesn't get it done. So anyway, it was 2-2 last night. And just to address one more thing, I think we had somebody was saying the injuries don't matter. Well, we had the two big injuries. You had Joker out. He was questionable, and he was out for Denver. Portland won for fun. Luka, questionable for Dallas. He played. They beat the Clippers in overtime. Guys, injuries matter, especially superstars. These guys are superstars. And, of course, they matter. Joker, right now, he is worth, to me, 7 points on the line. That's a ridiculous number. Take LeBron right now. LeBron, to me, is worth 5 points on the line. Joker was the MVP. He is the MVP. He is the most valuable player in this league. 7 points is unheard of. Doncic, I only give 4 points. Take off 4 points if Doncic's out of the lineup. Look, it varies a little bit here and there, team to team. But for the most part, these numbers I go by. Joker's worth 7 points at this point. The difference with him in the lineup and out is amazing. Look, it's also because they're missing other pieces, Murray, Otto Porter. Anyway, that's the basketball. We're going to come back to the basketball. What I want to do tonight, we'll go through tomorrow's NFL real quick. 3 games. And the first one is actually putrid. Good thing you're not going to eat before that game. You might throw that up. So we get the Bears at the Lions tomorrow. Fields is out. He's not going to quarterback. Dalton's been named the quarterback. Who is the better quarterback? If you guys have been following me for a while, you know my opinion on Fields. He's just not an NFL quarterback yet. And he may be down the road, but not yet. They're dead last in passing. And Fields comes out of the game last week, and Dalton throws 2 touchdown passes. Dalton's a quarterback. He's been around in this league. So he's definitely, of course, he's not as good a runner as Fields, but much better passer, not even a comparison. So this game, like I told you guys, the other side, let's go first. Goff is questionable. So this game, and I've told you guys this before, right now this line stands at 3. Bears are a 3-point favorite. My line on this game is Bears 4 without Goff. If Goff is in, it's Bears 2. That line is 3. It's right in the middle. And this is where the books can't get too badly hurt with the injury either way. My feeling is Goff is going to play. This kid last week, he was horrible. 77 yards passing, 2 interceptions. So as bad as Detroit's passing game is with Goff, it's even worse. But there's only a 2-point difference. You have a lot of callback. You take Lamar Jackson, it was like 4.5 points difference with the quarterback from Jackson to Huntley last week. So 2 points difference. So my line is right now Chicago Bears 4 if Goff is out, 2 points if Goff is in. It's 3 points. Really tough to go anywhere. And the total, if this was going to be Fields, if Fields was going to be quarterbacking, which, like I said, he's not, and you had this kid Boyle for the Lions, this would be a dead under. That's like a 17-14 game. But if Goff is in, again, he's a little better. And Dalton, he's going to put some points on the board. I'm not endorsing over, but it's not a clear-cut under. Like I said, if you're looking at this game, it's 7 of the Bears' last 9 games have gone under, and 7 of the Lions' last 8 games have gone under. And those games are Bears. Bears games have averaged 39.4 points a game. Lions games have averaged 38.4 points a game. Bears are 29th in scoring at 16.3 points per game, and Lions are 30th in scoring at 16 points per game. So like I said, in a game that looks like a dead under, if it was Fields and Boyle, yes, dead under. But with Goff and Dalton, not ready to go jump on the under in that one. I'm just answering your question. Lions under, and that would be pretty much the answer to that question. Next game you're looking at is Raiders Cowboys. And again, if you guys are on the How to Beat the Bookie website, always go to my ratings, guys. Best ratings you're ever going to find. Gives you the line. I mean, when there's no other adjustments to make, you take the Raiders. I've got them at 22.0 on the road, and I've got the Cowboys rated at 29.0 at home. 7 points. That's basically what the game is. The game is sitting at 7, favorite 15, 7, favorite 20. Some spots got 7.5. It's a 7-point game. The Vegas knows that the public's going to play Dallas, so they hedged them a little bit. So I got that game 7 points. You've got Amari Cooper. He had COVID last week, at the tail end of last week. He's going to miss this game also. CD Lamb got a concussion in the prior game with KC. He's questionable. So if you don't have 2 wide receivers there, takes a couple of weapons away from Dak Prescott. Anyway, that line is 7. That's what I make it. It's right there. The one game that should have been the bet earlier this week, Buffalo Bills opened as a 4.5-point favorite over New Orleans. That line is presently 6. Again, if you're a How to Beat the Bookie member and you go to my power ratings, I've got the Bills rated at 30.0 on the road, where I've got New Orleans rated 23.0 at home. That's with all the injuries that the Saints have right now. So I've got the Bills a 7-point favorite. I didn't jump on this game right away. Didn't know if Kamara was going to try to make it back. He's definitely out again. Ramczyk, one of the tackles, already definitely out. Questionable tomorrow. The other running back, Ingram, and questionable to come back. The other tackle, Armstead. New Orleans just a real banged up team. And while that seems like a real big number on the road, this Saints offense is in trouble right now. You got a quarterback that I thought he was making strides. Just he's not making them. But all 3 games here, you've got all the teams coming in on losing streaks. You've got obviously the Lions haven't won a game yet. They're 0-9-1. The Bears have lost their last 5. Raiders have lost 3 straight since their bye, where you thought, okay, they'll come off the bye, they'll start getting better. They've been horrible. Cowboys have lost 2 of their last 3. only scoring 9 points against the Chiefs last week. Bills have lost 2 of their last 3, 2 embarrassing losses. They lost at the Jaguars, scoring only 6 points, getting beat 9-6, and then really getting thrashed at home by the Colts, which if you were following us the week before, we said that's playoff revenge. Colts would come with a game. Again, I like the Colts, never expected to give Buffalo a beating like this. Buffalo was one of my teams at the beginning of the year. I thought they were one of the best teams in the league, and I still think they are. Just a couple of letdowns. So they've lost 2 of their last 3, and the Saints haven't won 0-3 since Jameis Winston went down. And this guy wasn't really the greatest quarterback, but it's really the last 2 games are more because of Kamara. Kamara is their offense, and he's going to be out again. Don't know how they're going to generate any offense, especially if Ingram is out also, the other running back. It's going to force Simeon just into pass situations. Buffalo real good against the pass. So right now, like I said, these 3 games tomorrow, my line is right on target with them. I don't have a play just yet. We'll see if anything happens. If the lines move, late breaking injuries, who gets COVID, we'll see. But with that being said, let's take a quick look at the football. Going to look at tonight's basketball. It's a big card tonight, 13 games. Let's see if we can, and I'm bringing in my man last night. He was telling me all about Westbrook and how Westbrook was going to dominate. Very good. Good job. Actually, if that guy is out there, somebody put me, he mentioned me in one of his, what do they call it? I don't know, stories, comments. Anyway, he mentioned me, and he said, listening to How to Beat the Bookie and his son's conversation, and he took bits and pieces out of what we said. So because you talked about Westbrook, he bet Westbrook with points. He bet our under. We went under in the game. Anyway, like a 5-leg parlay, hit it. So if that guy's out there, he posted it somewhere. I'd like you to post it on our site. How's it going there, pal?
Good. Just looking at some games. I heard you said you don't have a play yet. I'm looking at a couple.
I got one bet total. But we're not gonna tell everybody that. That's just for the How to Beat the Bookie members. But what I want to do is go through the games from the top to the bottom. So I'll give a little synopsis of the game and injuries, and you tell me what you think. So top game is Lakers at Pacers. Lakers actually, back to back from last night.
Right.
Now the Lakers, they've been doing this for the last 2 years now. They just list AD and LeBron questionable every fucking day. And they've got them listed questionable right now. And that's why this line is 5. LeBron sat out last night because of the suspension. I would bet my balls he's going to play today. Now, AD, just because they were saying he had the flu all day yesterday, maybe he toughed it out because LeBron wasn't there, and maybe he takes off tonight. So he may be legitimately questionable. But like I said, they've been throwing these guys questionable tags up on them every day. That line's sitting at 5. Don't need to tell you that if they're both playing, I'm all over the Lakers. So VIP members, get ready for that text as soon as I get that info. Indiana's last game was a great game. They crushed the Bulls. They went into Chicago. I think it was 109-77. It was an absolute blowout. So they've won a couple in a row. Karis LeVert, he's also questionable for Indiana. Any feeling on that game, Johnny?
I definitely lean Lakers for the same reason. I just think Pacers are no team. I don't care if they're home. They're no team to be given 5. But like you said,
I think the Pacers are getting a little better.
A little better, but I'm definitely not sold on them.
All right. Well, we're both in agreement there. If AD and LeBron are in, we like the Lakers. The next game is Phoenix and Cleveland. I think me and you are going to disagree a little bit on this game. Phoenix, red hot Phoenix. 13 straight W's for them. Coming into Cleveland, they just beat San Antonio. 3rd and 4. Cleveland's home. They lost their last home game to Brooklyn. This line opened 7.5. It's presently 7.5. Darius Garland is questionable. for Cleveland tonight. If I knew Garland was in, I would like Cleveland in the spot. They played earlier in the season, and I think it was 101-92. Phoenix beat them in Phoenix. Cleveland just hangs around. Before Mobley got hurt and Allen had the sickness, Cleveland was on a nice little run. We were tailing Cleveland a whole lot there. So this would have been a good spot for them. But with Garland popping up questionable, they've already lost Sexton, the other point guard for the year. So that would leave Rubio as your main point guard and using Okoro and Osman in the backcourt with them. So I need Garland. If Garland's in there, my lean is towards Cleveland.
I loved Phoenix in the beginning. I saw Cedi Osman was questionable. You said that he's going to play. So I still lean Phoenix. Phoenix is just too red hot. I love Phoenix. I'm biased. I think CP3 is right behind Steph as the best point guard in the league. I lean Phoenix.
So, like I said, they're red hot. They've won 13 straight, but it's 8-5 against the spread. And that's all we care about is against the spread.
Right.
I'm just going to jump in here for 1 second because we're talking about the spread. And a little earlier today, I was watching this BR betting, and he's got, 600 some odd thousand followers. So for, a week or so, I figured, you know what, if I jump on there and I spew some of my knowledge, we'll get some followers there. But after listening to these fucking morons, they're running something called Lock Wednesdays, guaranteed lock, only guaranteed lock. I don't even know what the fuck it is. So, look, this is on my son and my grandchildren, okay? I'm not making this shit up. Just watch this. Guy comes on, and he gives out the Miami Heat as a lock. And the host of this show, Greg, says, who they playing? The guy goes, I don't know. He didn't know who they were.
Hilarious.
But the Heat, he was his lock. Had another dude come on. Again, I'm not kidding. So he comes on he's got the Phoenix Suns, Milwaukee Bucks, Utah Jazz, and Golden State Warriors, all his locks. Money line. So Phoenix is the smallest favorite. They're 7.5. They're like a 4-1 favorite. You got Utah Jazz a 14-point favorite. Bucks are a 15-point favorite. Golden State's 10. But he don't want to lay the points with money line. So you need a kappa to tell you to lay these favorites. So guys, it's not even funny. It's ridiculous. It took me 10 minutes to stop crying after one. But anyway, getting back, we go down to Charlotte, Orlando. These teams have met earlier in the year. Charlotte beat them by 9 in Orlando. Charlotte's playing nice basketball. Had a nice win at Washington their last game. Orlando was just pummeled, obliterated. I don't know what word you want to use. Their last game at Milwaukee, they at one point in the game they were down 51 points. Orlando, a real bad team. Usually I like these home revenges. Just can't pull the trigger on this one. Cole Anthony is out for Orlando. Again, not endorsing Charlotte. This could be a letdown game after a tough game, beating Washington, going to a team that you just dominated not too long ago. And then again, if it was a little bit of a better team, I just can't pull the trigger with the Magic. So that one's a toss-up, and I'm just leaving it alone. Any feeling there, John?
I love the way how Charlotte plays. I just can't give 7. I could only bet Hornets. I wouldn't touch. There are some teams I just would never touch. Pistons, Magic. I don't care what the line is. I just want to.
Oh, that's where the value is, son. You still got lessons to learn. The value.
No, look, these teams I see get beat by 20, 25. I just wouldn't do it to myself. I can't take the stress.
Look, again, that's why I'm not touching them. That last beat down that they took, but sometimes teams respond from one like that. Again, the big favorites always tough. Like I was telling you guys last night with the Heat, laying 10 in Detroit, and they only win by 8. You know what I mean? Some teams they do just enough to win, and that's getting back to that Phoenix game. I just feel that's where Phoenix is. They know they're a better team. They'll space out their minutes just enough to beat them. Anyway, Brooklyn Nets at Celtics. So there's playoff revenge here. Nets beat them 4-1 in the playoffs last year. But there's also an ownage. And when I say ownage, it's one team just owning the other. They've beaten 7 of the 8. They beat them and covered 7 of the last 8, including the 5 games in the playoffs. Celtics are listing Jaylen Brown is questionable for the injury management. Now, they didn't play yesterday, and nobody plays tomorrow. Don't know why in the world Jaylen Brown would be out. That game right now is sitting around pick. If he is out for some reason, I'm all over the Nets. Also, Robert Williams. Again, we've been talking about this illness. They reported him illness at the shoot-around. So Williams questionable also. We'll be on top of those injuries. But that, to me, is Nets or nobody. Johnny?
100% Nets. I got right now. I'm looking at pick. I love the Nets. I like them. I saw earlier today it went back and forth. It said Williams out, and then it went back to question. So I love the Nets no matter what, whether Jaylen Brown's in or out. I just want to say you saved me with the Heat last night. I really like the Heat. You told me to lay off. I laid off, and it landed. I would have lost that one. So I just wanted to jump back to that one.
Oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. That's my job. Anyway, yeah, somebody's just asking about the Portland Kings. We'll get to that one, guys. We'll get down there. Looks good on ratings. Again, guys, always remember my ratings are just the first step. There's other things on top of the ratings that you got to figure in. But we'll get down to that game. So like we said, we're looking Nets if the injuries are right. Pistons are at Bucks. And, again, you want to talk about ownage. Bucks have beaten them 15 straight, 12-3 against the spread. Pistons are coming off the game last night, so they're back-to-back. Milwaukee had a day off. No major injuries to either start. You still got Stewart. He's serving the second game of that suspension. Other than that, pretty much everybody in. Looks like Milwaukee's starting to get their stuff together. They're starting to gel a little bit. But that number's sitting at 15. And I'm not going with anywhere. Just thought I'd give you the trend in that game.
Take the money line. Bucks money line.
Bucks money line. There we go. Lock it up. It's not even. First of all, I don't even know how guys would do it. Like, let's say your average Joe's got a G-Note, $1,000 limit with a book. Got to lay one. What's he betting for? $50, putting $550 up to win 50. How's he getting the other bets in? Let's not. Frauds. They're just frauds. Utah Jazz at OKC. Utah beat them by 21. It was the first game of the season in Utah. OKC comes home. It's their 4th and 6. They had a 3-game road trip. Lost all 3. Covered all 3. They're the backdoor kings, OKC. They keep fighting. They were down big in their last game. And they just did they cover that last game against the Celtics? I don't want to give out a wrong stat. Give me 1 sec.
I believe they did. I believe I took them.
Just want to make sure 100%. I had that marked down. Anyway, okay.
Bucks, Nets, Jazz money line parlay. It's a lock.
So somebody's giving us the stuff out there.
No, he said Bucks, Nets, Jazz money line parlay.
Yeah, okay, money line. I don't know, guys. Anyway, yeah. So OKC, they keep fighting. Gilgeous is out again. Gilgeous Alexander for OKC. Everybody healthy for the Jazz. Jazz coming off a loss at home to Memphis. So they might be a little geared up. But again, guys, those 14s and 15s, like I said, but Milwaukee, yeah, they own the Pistons. Just a tough number to lay. The first game Milwaukee had with Orlando, they beat them twice, crushed them. But same thing, they got backdoored. They were ahead by 30-something, and they wound up letting the Magic cover. Just hate to get backdoored like that. You get Chicago going to the Rockets, and Johnny was talking about the Bulls as one of his better teams. Well, they get Vucevic back tonight. He's coming back from COVID. And Alex Caruso, he'll also be back. He took a game off with the wrist. Again, first game back from COVID. I don't expect they'll give him too much work, especially against a weak Rocket team that's lost 15 straight games. What do you got for me on that one?
Yeah, I could. Bulls are one of my teams. I definitely lean them. I just hate those big numbers. The backdoor always scares me. But with the Rockets are by far the worst team I've seen in a while.
They are the NBA right now. Rockets are definitely the worst team. There's no question about it. Worse than the Magic.
Oh yeah, by far. It's 1-16, I believe, right?
They lost the opener. They beat your team, OKC, in the second game of the year, and now have lost 15 straight.
Yeah, I definitely lean Bulls. I could pull the trigger on the Bulls, but
next game looking at is Heat at Timberwolves, and this game is a pick. And just because a guy on BR Betting said it's a lock, I'm giving it out as my. No, I'm only kidding. Kidding, guys. Miami Heat at Timberwolves. Heat coming in. I think they've won, is it 6 of 7? Miami's playing real good basketball. The only game they lost, they fell down at Washington. Just give me a sec. I'm pulling up an info. Minnesota, they've won 4 in a row. Just upgrading Greg Harris, no big deal, to probable. So, yeah, Minnesota all of a sudden playing real good basketball themselves, and that's why don't let the line fool you. The line makers know what they're talking about. I lean to Miami. My numbers say Miami in this game, but Miami's back-to-back. Bam has been questionable every night, so I don't want to get shocked on a back-to-back that they hold out Bam. So we'll wait to see until I get the lineups on that one. So that game's sitting right out at a pick, but maybe my guy at BR Betting is right. Bet Miami. I don't know who they're playing. Just bet Miami. We'll get Toronto at Memphis next game. Toronto's been off a couple of days, but they're on a long road trip. It'll be their 5th game in 10 days. As they go into Memphis, coming off a loss at Golden State. They got pounded there pretty good. Anunoby is questionable to come back. He's missed the last few games. For Memphis, Brooks is questionable. He's missed the last few games. You got a team coming off a loss, Toronto. You got a team coming off a big win, playoff revenge. Memphis beating Utah the other night. Memphis had won the last game they played last year by 10 points. Prior to that, Toronto had won and covered the last 6. If Anunoby is in, and at that point I can still take 3 points, I'm on Toronto. What do you think?
I could only lean Raptors. I don't love it, but I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. I think if comes back, though, I think the line will drop a little bit.
Well, it should. Again, these a guy like Anunoby, not a household name.
Solid, though. Very solid.
Just tell me if the guys can see the screen, John, as I send it over. Can you see the Don Best screen?
Yeah, I see it.
And you guys see the black that's on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so the black that's on the screen are games that have recently moved. Okay, and then I refresh it every once in a while. So what the Don Best screen, this is the tool that every bookie has, every real bettor has, and this will give me 98 times out of 100 beats any information for injuries. Now, what this does is it sends out injuries in 2 fashions. One is considered an urgent, and they got guys, LeBron, Anthony Davis, Luka, Jokic. These guys are urgents, and it just comes up a flash on the board, urgent message, so-and-so is out. So a guy like Anunoby, who flies under the radar, isn't. So when an urgent comes up on Don Best, the entire screen moves. The line moves just immediately. Because, look, most of these guys are run by computers. So they digest the information, and the line moves itself. So a guy like Anunoby, he's not an urgent, what I'm trying to say. So isn't urgent for Toronto, but Anunoby isn't. And Anunoby is really an important piece for them. So anyway, he may fly under the radar. So if I get that message where it doesn't pop up, those are the ones I can beat. When a message like Anthony Davis is in or out, very tough to beat them, the urgent guys. It's the guys that, who aren't a household name. Or in a case like last night with the Joker, they just don't have him rated. Like, I don't know if you caught the beginning how I was saying, Joker, he's 7 points to my line.
Absolutely.
7 points worse with him out of the lineup. Again, you're missing Murray, you're missing other pieces, so you don't have somebody else to pick up that slack. But right now, he's worth 7 points to the line. Anyway, so like I said, the urgent message, that moves the line automatically, where other guys, not so much. And so we try to be on top of these injuries as soon as possible. But that's the story with Toronto. Memphis, Wizards at New Orleans. Here's a game that you guys remember we bet last week or so. We had the Wizards -3. Line went up to 4.5. Wizards were down by 19. And we came away with a 5-point winner, 105-100. So this would be a big revenge game for the Pelicans. But another team, the Pelicans, just playing brutal basketball right now. Wizards have lost 3 or 4. My number to take in this game was 5. If I could have got +5, I'd be all over the Pelicans. And I want Graham, the point guard, back. Devontae Graham's missed the last couple of games. So, just not a big message. So anyway, my lean would be to the Wizards on that game, but the number's not there right now. That number's sitting at 4. Any feeling?
No, I don't. I looked at the injuries. I looked at the report. I passed right over it. Coin toss.
Okay. Hawks at San Antonio, and only injury to speak of note is McDermott for San Antonio, and he's questionable. Hawks, fantastic at home, can't win on the road. Let me pull that up. Yeah, I think they're coming to a 4-game home winning streak. Atlanta, they played great at home. They won 5 games at home. OKC backdoored Atlanta the last game. The line was hit up to 13 at the end, 13.5, and I think they beat them 113-101, but it was by 12 points. Anyway, Atlanta won 8 straight up, 0 against the spread on the road. Again, plays great at home, can't win on the road. So I got a little lean over there. Want to see what's happening in that game. Game is sitting at 3.5, 4. San Antonio, just a different team now. You got, hold up, here's our injury report. Bear with me, guys. Okay, no, they're updating LeVert to probable for Indiana. The injury popped up for the Lakers game. I thought we were going to find, get final word on AD. But that just was LeVert is now probable instead of questionable. Portland sack. No injuries to speak of. Portland's on a back-to-back. Lillard's been having an issue with this abdominal for a while. Only reason I haven't pulled the trigger on this, don't know if they may sit him in a back-to-back. They don't have him listed as questionable, but I got all night long to wait on this. Sacramento is absolutely horrible. Lost 8 of their last 9. The only reason, also, Portland's the other team, just like Atlanta, plays great at home, can't win on the road. But here's a little home revenge from opening night. Sacramento beat Portland 124-121 in Portland opening night. And now you got Sacramento playing better basketball, Sacramento playing horrible basketball, Portland playing better, but they're not playing great on the road. Not that they're not playing great, they're playing horrible on the road. So is this the game that gets them right? And the last game of nights is Philly at Golden State. And Philly still got question marks all over the board. Tobias Harris, Seth Curry, Danny Green, Joel Embiid still definitely out. This game's sitting at 10.5. Phillies. This will be their 6th and final game of a 12-day road trip. They won their last game against Sacramento that they should have never. They stuck it to us in that one. So this could be a mail-in game. And let's just get back to home to Philly with 2 wins on the road trip. So this would be Golden State or anybody. So I suggest Golden State on the money line. No, again, I'm only talking Golden State on the money line. Just can't take the dog in this one. Not interested in laying Golden State. And as we talk, they're pulling the game down. They're pulling the Laker Pacer game down. So I want to keep you guys here with me for a minute. As a matter of fact, can you see the Lakers Pacers game?
I'll bring it down a little bit.
Bring it down?
Yep.
So you guys can see they just taking this game off the board, waiting to see what's going on now. And again, this is Don Best. This is showing me all the lines from all your major casinos and offshore books.
You went silent. You went silent. You hit the mute button.
How about now?
There you go.
You gotta give me a shot over here because this is very tough. Okay. Anyway, still not popping that up. Any opinion on those last couple of games? Did I ask you about the Portland game, John?
Yeah. I could lean Portland for all the reasons you said. They're just awful on the road. Just the way they play on the road, I can't stomach them. I just don't feel confident in taking them. And Warriors. I love the Warriors money line, but we don't lay that because we're not suckers. So I laying 10.5. Can't do that either.
Okay, so here's the big news that we were waiting for. LeBron is probable, just flashing across, like I said. But, okay, Anthony Davis doubtful. Anthony Davis doubtful. So, like I said, knew LeBron would play. Anthony Davis, though, I guess he stuck it out. Flu last night. He toughed it out. Can't do it tonight. They're listing him doubtful. Again, that's not 100% out, but doubtful. So bet accordingly. Let me run some numbers now, guys. Let me see if I'll hold you on again. Can you see it, Johnny?
Yep.
So I'm going to just give you guys a second to see when they re-pop up the lines. As of right now, they're off.
Bring it down. There you go.
You'll see there's one spot that has up there, and the name of that casino is it at the offshore sportsbook actually is your wager, and they got it 5, but that 5 is not there. That's off the board. You can see the rest of them are off the board. That particular place just doesn't take the lines down, and so we have not put a line back up yet. Anyway, guys, it'll be up shortly. Just trying to show you guys this is how everything works. This is the speed info comes out and the lines come down or get moved. This way it's always tough for the relay to work. For me to relay the bet to the VIP customers and for the website guys. Like again, last night, as soon as I get the info that joke is out, I laid 6.5. I know the VIP members are not going to get 6.5, so I say I like 7, so that they don't get panicked and okay, just lay the 7. Now that game closed at 10. So my VIP members definitely should have got 7, no worse than 7.5. Unfortunately, the website members, I don't know how soon you saw it, and I hope you didn't get scared when it went up to 8 or 9. I did tell you guys last night this was going to be a double digit. I try to emphasize how much I felt Portland would stick it to them, getting beat by 29 earlier in the year. Anyway, guys, this is the information. It's real information. Even my son comes with a little something. You go to BR betting, you get a lot of "let's fucking go." That's their talent. That's what they bring to the table. I wasn't going to do a live on Friday but I think I am just because it's a huge basketball card. And then we'll get a chance to touch a little bit on Sunday's NFL. Definitely not doing nothing tomorrow. Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving. I appreciate the support. Let's make some money.